Hi everybody! Thanks for joining us here at the Canyon City Public Library for another virtual story time. We like to start our virtual story times off with our welcome song. It's sung to the tune of Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, and it goes like this. Welcome, welcome everyone, now you're here, let's have some fun. First we'll clap our hands like so, then we'll bend and touch our toes. Welcome, welcome everyone, now you're here, let's have some fun. Good job everybody. Just as a reminder, we do in-person story times Mondays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays, all at 10:30. We'd love to have you come in and see us here. Which brings us to our first book, Dr. Desoto. Dr. Desoto by William Steig, published by Farrar, Straus, and Giroux. Dr. Desoto, the dentist, did very good work, so he had no end of patients. Those close to his own size, moles, chipmunks, etc., sat in the regular dentist's chair. Larger animals sat on the floor, while Dr. Desoto stood on a ladder. For extra large animals, he had a special room. There, Dr. Desoto was hoisted up to the patient's mouth by his assistant, who also happened to be his wife. Dr. Desoto was especially popular with the big animals. He was able to work inside their mouths, wearing rubbers to keep his feet dry, and his fingers were so delicate and his drills so dainty, they could hardly feel any pain. Being a mouse, he refused to treat animals dangerous to mice, and it said so on his sign. When the doorbell rang, he and his wife would look out the window. They wouldn't admit even the most timid-looking cat. One day they looked out and saw a well-dressed fox with a flannel bandage around his jaw. "I cannot treat you, sir," Dr. Desoto shouted. "Sir, haven't you read my sign?" "Please," the fox wailed, "have mercy, I'm suffering." And he wept so bitterly it was pitiful to see. "Just a moment," said Dr. Desoto. "That poor fox," he whispered to his wife. "What shall we do?" "Let's risk it," said Mrs. Desoto. She pressed the buzzer and let the fox in. He was up the stairs in a flash. "Bless your little hearts," he cried, falling to his knees. "I beg you, do something. My tooth is killing me." "Sit on the floor, sir," said Dr. Desoto, "and remove the bandage, please." Dr. Desoto climbed up the ladder and bravely entered the fox's mouth. "Ooh, wow," he gasped. The fox had a rotten bicuspid and unusually bad breath. "This tooth will have to come out," Dr. Desoto announced, "but we can make you a new one." "Just stop the pain," whimpered the fox, wiping some tears away. Despite his misery, he realized he had a tasty little morsel in his mouth, and his jaw began to quiver. "Keep open," yelled Dr. Desoto. "Wide open," yelled his wife. "I'm giving you gas now," said Dr. Desoto. "You won't feel a thing when I yank that tooth." Soon the fox was in dreamland. Yummy," he mumbled. "How I love them raw, with just a pinch of salt and a dry white wine." They could guess what he was dreaming about. Mrs. Desoto handed her husband a pole to keep the fox's mouth open. Dr. Desoto fastened his extractor to the bad tooth. Then he and his wife began turning the winch. Finally, with a sucking sound, the tooth popped out and hung, swaying in the air. "I'm bleeding," the fox yelped when he came to. Dr. Desoto ran up the ladder and stuffed some gauze in the hole. "The worst is over," he said. "I'll have your new tooth ready by tomorrow. Be here at 11 sharp." The fox, still woozy, said goodbye and left. On his way home, he wondered if it would be shabby of him to eat the Desotos when the job was done. After office hours, Mrs. Desoto molded a tooth of pure gold and polished it. "Raw with salt indeed," muttered Dr. Desoto. "How foolish to trust a fox." "He didn't know what he was saying," said Mrs. Desoto. "Why should he harm us? We're helping him." "Because he's a fox," said Dr. Desoto. "They're wicked, wicked creatures." That night, the Desotos lay awake worrying. "Should we let him in tomorrow?" Mrs. Desoto wondered. "Once I start a job," said the dentist firmly, "I finish it. My father was the same way." "But we must do something to protect ourselves," said his wife. They talked and talked until they formed a plan. "I think it will work," said Dr. Desoto. A minute later, he was snoring. The next morning, promptly at 11, a very cheerful fox turned up. He was feeling not a particle of pain. When Dr. Desoto got into his mouth, he snapped it shut for a moment and then opened wide and laughed. "Just a joke," he chortled. "Be serious," said the dentist sharply. "We have work to do." His wife was lugging the heavy tooth up the ladder. "Oh, I love it," exclaimed the fox. "It's just beautiful." Dr. Desoto set the gold tooth in its socket and hooked it up to the teeth on both sides. The fox caressed the new tooth with his tongue. "My, it feels good," he thought. "I really shouldn't eat them. On the other hand, how can I resist?" "We're not finished," said Dr. Desoto, holding up a large jug. "I have here a remarkable preparation developed only recently by my wife and me. With just one application, you could be rid of toothaches forever. How would you like to be the first one to receive this unique treatment?" "I certainly would," the fox declared. "I'd be honored." He hated any kind of personal pain. "You will never have to see us again," said Dr. Desoto. "No one will see you again," said the fox to himself. He had definitely made up his mind to eat them, with the help of his brand new tooth. Dr. Desoto stepped into the fox's mouth with a bucket of secret formula and proceeded to paint each tooth. He hummed as he worked. Mrs. Desoto stood by on the ladder, pointing out spots he had missed. The fox looked very happy. When the dentist was done, he stepped out. "Now close your jaws tight," he said, "and keep them closed for a full minute." The fox did as he was told. Then he tried to open his mouth, but his teeth were stuck together. "Oh, excuse me, I should have mentioned," said Dr. Desoto. "You won't be able to open your mouth for a day or two. The secret formula must first permeate the dentine. But don't worry, no pain ever again." The fox was stunned. He stared at Dr. Desoto, then at his wife. They smiled and waited. All he could do was say, "Frankleberry mush," through his clenched teeth, and get up and leave. He tried to do so with dignity. Then he stumbled down the stairs in a daze. Dr. Desoto and his assistant had outfoxed the fox. They kissed each other and took the rest of the day off. Dr. Desoto. Hopefully everybody is staying healthy and practicing good hygiene at home. We have a song here that we like to sing at the library. It's our hand washing song, and it goes like this. Tops and bottoms, in between, rub them all together, nice and clean, Tops and bottoms, in between, scrub them all together, nice and clean. Good job, everybody. Brings us to our second book for today. It Came in the Mail. It Came in the Mail by Ben Clanton, published by Simon & Schuster Books for Young Readers. Liam loved to get mail. Hooray! Too bad he never got any. Boogers. He checked daily, hourly, every few seconds, but found diddly squat. But then, on a day much like any other, an idea struck Liam. Bonk. Ouch. If he sent some mail, then maybe he'd get some in return. Gotta go write a letter. See you later, Jamil. Okay. Not sure who to send something to, Liam sent a letter to his mailbox. Dear mailbox, I would like to get something in the mail. Something big, please. Love, Liam. As soon as Liam put the letter in, the mailbox began to shake. It made all sorts of strange sounds. Crink, toot, whir, wink, squibble, wibble, whoop. When Liam looked inside, he was met by a blast of fire. A dragon had come in the mail, and it was for Liam. Liam loved the dragon, but he couldn't wait to see what he might get next. Dear mailbox, thank you for the fire-breathing dragon. It is just what I always wanted. Can you send me more stuff, please? Love, Liam. P.S. You are the best mailbox ever. Soon the mailbox was spitting out all sorts of things. Pickles, pigs, a whale with wings, a trombone, a triceratops bone, even a funny bone. Knock, knock. squibble, wibble, whoop. Liam liked it all. He liked it all so much that he wanted even more. Dear Mailbox, you send the best mail. I would love it if you would send me 100, no, a gazillion more things. Love, Liam. Creak, rattle, rumble, rumble. Uh-oh. Oodles and oodles of mail flooded out of the mailbox. Splash, crash. Wait! Ugh. Too much mail. Oof. What was Liam to do with it all? Whoa, awesome. And then another idea struck Liam. He probably wasn't the only kid who had ever wanted to get mail. Where are you going now? Gotta write a letter. Again? Dear Mailbox, thank you for all the mail, but I think it's maybe too much for just me. Can you help me send some of it to other kids? Love, Liam. With some help from the mailbox. Ugh, I bet Amelia would love this thing. Liam was soon mailing things to kids all over the place. Shoop, 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 shoop. Liam found he rather liked sending stuff. He liked it so much that before long, almost everything was gone. That was okay with Liam. He could always ask the mailbox for more. Woohoo! But maybe some other time. Faster! It came in the mail. Thank you for joining us here at the Canyon City Public Library for another virtual story time. We hope to see you again soon. Have a great day. Bye-bye.